Hello, 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 everyone. I'm Lyriclee, and welcome to the fourth episode of What's on Your Mind mini podcast. This show is a little insight to my mental health journey. A brief introduction: I am a visual creator, content creator. I work in photography, film, and video production, and anything fine arts. If you didn't know, you can catch this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and much more. I hope that you guys are also following me on my social media. If not, it's Lyriclee_indigo on Twitter, Instagram, and on Clubhouse. I make announcements on these platforms and I create cool, unique content. Also, I would like for you guys to, keep in touch. Let's chit chat a little bit, chat it up, man. All right, with that being said, let's get into the episode. Woo, okay, episode 4. We did it, you guys. Clap it up. Who would have thought we would make it to episode 4? Not me. Not me. I'm gonna tell you right now, after the procrastination episode 3, I definitely was gonna take this week off. But you know what? I had to share something. I had to share this episode. This episode is all about transparency, and we're talking about telling your testimony. We have to tell it, you guys. We have to talk about this. Okay. So it came to mind that people don't realize how much they have in common with others just because people won't tell their story or won't tell their testimony and tell what they've been through and what they got out of. Maybe it's because of judgment, fear of being judged, or, they might end up closing doors, or they might end up burning bridges. Who knows? But I know one thing for sure. Once you tell it, I'm telling you, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's more like, feeling like 100 pounds lighter, even when you're overweight. Okay. Listen to me, man. Listen to me. Chat it up. Okay. Honestly, when you tell your testimony, you give people the opportunity to not just only feel you and empathize with you, but more so relate to a situation that they probably thought they was going through on their own. So this episode, we're going to talk about my testimony and my ways of being transparent. Okay. So I hear this a lot from friends and family that I'm transparent because honestly, I don't know how to shut it off. When I went through something, I have to give all the glory to God. And for those who are non-believers, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. It is what it is, okay? God has sent me to tell this testimony. All right, so let's start. I've been dealing with depression since I was a child. I'm talking about maybe 9 or 10 years old. And I've contemplated life since I was 11. And by the time I was in middle school, I was beyond angry. I couldn't pinpoint what I was angry about, but I was an angry kid. So there were times where I wouldn't spaz out on people, but I would wait for somebody to do something that I deemed disrespectful, and then I will attack. I will prance. I needed a reason to prance and attack or release this anger that I was feeling balled up inside. So by high school, I found myself being lost, being isolated, as we talked about before, but loving being isolated because there was no opportunity for me to be misunderstood. There was no opportunity for me to lash out or do anything deemed disrespectful. And I took that on and I carried all that into college, where my freshman year, my mother passed. And for those who are listening that are family members, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. A reminder, I'm sorry. But by the time my freshman year came, my mom passed the first semester. And that even put more gasoline, more fuel on the fire. So now I'm angry. I'm even more lost because my mom is the one who makes the decisions for me. She was always the one who spoke up for me or spoke for me in some ways. I didn't have to speak or do anything, or and now I'm pushed into a world where now I have to actually like talk for myself and do things and be responsible. And I wasn't prepared for it, so I was even more angry at the world, at her, and I didn't even want to be here anymore. So those remnants of contemplating life from childhood has now branched out into a forest fire, okay? And a hot summer day in California. We're blazing right now, okay? We're blazing heat. Uh, this young me was so upset that I lost kind of everything. I fall into again depression, and I couldn't eat. I couldn't go to class. What was the purpose of going to class in my mind? Because my mom wanted me to go to college. And I did everything throughout my entire life just for her. I played sports just so she can go and say, hey, my child does this, my child does that. And just to see that smile on her face, just for my mom to, I did activities and extra stuff for my mom to show off in some sense. Like, okay, she's doing her thing raising this child. Whoever this child is, whoever her parents are, they doing a great job. That was my whole goal throughout my entire life, just to prove my mom was fit. Okay? She was a well fit mother. And so once I lost all that, I couldn't grasp what was my purpose in life. Because she wasn't no longer here. So my success didn't make sense. In college, I decided to quit my jobs, drop out of school, and find myself. You know how young adults are. We have to find ourselves in some situations or some aspects of life. And so I moved to Atlanta, which did not help anymore. You would have thought like, hey, yeah, this would have been it. Nope. I just balled up in somebody else's house. So at this point, I'm homeless. I quit my job. Before moving to Atlanta, I quit my job, and of course, with quitting your job, you can't pay your rent. So therefore, now you're officially homeless. So now I'm jumping from my beautiful 1 bedroom apartment, fully furnished, to my homeboy's couch because I was battling depression, and the roots of suicide was just tugging at me. They was just growing, baby, and this leaf of mine was just about to die. And so after that, I said, okay, well, maybe if I move to Atlanta, maybe things will be better. And no, they weren't better. They just added more on top of what I was feeling. And I had to face the reality of like, clearly, I need help. I need personal help, because everybody's mourning around me, and I can't breathe either. So one miraculous morning. Before then, let me go back into it. That night that I decided, when I was in Atlanta, I decided to, this was going to be my last day on this earth. I was like, this is it. Forget everything and everybody. It wasn't until this voice in my head was like, and no offense to those who have lost someone to this this disease, but for me, the way I was raised, and I'm trying to take my time with this because I know that people judge people off of the idea of contemplating their life. Like, why would you do that? Or you'll do this and da 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 da. When it's a real thing, when it's a serious matter that maybe come across a couple of people around in your circle's head, and you don't realize it because people don't open up and talk about it because they feel like they're being judged, and et cetera, et cetera. So with that being said, I was contemplating one night, and I just knew this was it. And it wasn't until I text a friend. I don't know if I text or I call. I can't remember specifically, but I remember dialing a friend, okay? And they was like, give it one more day. They didn't say, try a couple of days, do this. They was like, look, give it one more day, pray about it. You know, this is the devil talking. Just talk about it. Just pray, 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 pray. And I said, you know what? All right, I'm going to give it one more day, because that's all I had. Honestly, I didn't even have a day. I was thinking like a good half of a day. I was thinking, okay. But they told me, give it one more day. And from that day, from that night, actually, I had to get up early in the morning, maybe around like 5 or 6 o'clock. It had to be around like 5 o'clock so I can catch the bus at 6, because around this time, I was trying to find myself. So I was just doing obsolete things that just go through past the time. And so I decided to get into massage therapy. And the funny thing about this is some of my friends was like, you know, you don't like touching people and you don't like people touching you, which is a good fact about me. I don't like hugging. I don't like holding hands. When it's time to pray, I prefer to hold somebody's wrist. Excuse me. I prefer to hold somebody's wrist than their actual hands. Why would I hold your hand after I just washed my hands? So now I have to go back and wash them again so I can eat? Does that make sense, people? Let's hold wrist. Let's make that a thing. Let's hold each other's wrist, okay? Or like just put our hands up in the air, like we're doing worship. That works. Or maybe we can like interlock, like we're like on set or something like that, like we're about to pledge. Let's interlock, okay? Arms. Let's do that. But I'm getting off track. So yeah, pretty much that morning I had to get up really, really early to catch the bus just to go and get on the subway station. And then from the subway station, I had to get off there maybe from an hour and then walk a good 30 minutes, maybe pushing maybe, I would say 20 minutes, walk 20 minutes up just to get to the actual school location of the massage therapy class. So I was in my mind the entire time. On that bus ride, I'm talking about, I sat in the front seat directly behind the bus driver, tears pouring from my eyes, crying, telling God like, hey man, just like this. Like some people act like, look, I talk to God just like this. Hey man, you said you wouldn't give me anything that I couldn't bear. I can't bear it. I can't take it. Okay? So you know what's going to happen. Give me a break. Give me a break. Okay? I'm talking about Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Okay? And so once I actually arrived to the school, maybe an hour within classes, we take a break and I get a phone call from a friend back in North Carolina. And it was like, hey, man, how would you feel if I got you a bus ticket back to North Carolina? Because I really, really need your help. Like, I'm struggling myself. I need your help with something, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm down. I'm for it. Okay. I'm here for it, baby. And so that was my little miracle. I take that so seriously when it came to like, okay, my timing, God's timing is perfect. Little did my friend know, because they had no attachments to each other. So the friend that I called versus the friend that called me, they had no attachments to each other. So they didn't know well, they do know each other, but of course that person didn't call, and et cetera, et cetera. So the person that called me did not know what I was going through. And so by the time I reached back to North Carolina and I told them this, they was like, man, that's crazy, because I've been praying and asking God to help me and save me in some situations and in some source. And I just thought to call you. And so that was a blessing beyond blessings, because you wouldn't have your girl. I promise you. I promise you, she wouldn't be here sharing this testimony All right. And so forth and so on. If I didn't take that route and come back to North Carolina, I wouldn't have had the opportunities of actually having my artwork in a state museum, in North Carolina Museum of Art, one of the biggest museums here in North Carolina. And yeah, I wouldn't be able to do half of the things that I'm doing now, and taking care of my family, and et cetera, et cetera. So, with that being said, I know it's a little dark. I'm sorry, you guys. Come on, everybody, give a hug. Come on, let's hug each other. There we go, you guys. All right, back on up, back on up. All right. I don't like people touching me. Back up. All right. But with that being said, I share this testimony for those who are out there that are struggling. There will be times where you have no clue what is going on. We're all just out here faking it until we make it. Okay? Little do you know, you may think that you need more at the time, but honestly, you don't. Because if you had everything that you wanted, you might end up losing it. You might end up losing everything that you, if possible, that you had everything that you wanted because you're not ready for it. This is your time to get ready for the things that God has prepared for you. And for those who don't believe, a higher power has prepared for you. So, I just want you guys to be transparent. It's okay. This is a safe space. And I want you guys to know that things do get better. Like, I know people like, oh my God, that cliche. It do. Like, what if you're already down, baby, if you're already losing, that means there's a possibility you can win. If you can lose, that means you can win. What more, like, honestly, you may want it now. You may look at your peers as like, man, I should be doing this. I should be having this. I should be married. I should be having kids. Honey, you should be doing you. Forget what everybody else is doing. You do you. Even within your struggle. Because again, like I said before, everybody's out here faking it till they make it. And then when they finally make it, baby, they're holding on to it tightly, which also brings other things like stress, anxiety. All right? Just be happy within what cohorts you are in. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm even telling myself that. Yet I have lost everything. I'm fearful of losing it all again, but I know that if I do, I can bounce right back. Because I did it already. I've done it. So let your journey be your journey. Don't look to your left, don't look to your right, but look forward. And if somebody's head is in the way of your vision, mush that bad boy out your way, okay? Mush them out your way. Don't let nobody distract you from your vision. It's okay to be down. It's okay. But make sure you also bring and pick yourself back up. Do the things that you love. Be in a routine of loving yourself before. Hello, that's a message. That's a message. That's going to be on another podcast, okay? How can you love someone when you can't even love yourself, baby? Can I get snaps? That's poetry. That's poetry for you, okay? So I just wanted everybody to be a little transparent with their lives and be, share their testimony. I mean, there's a possibility you will be judged. There's a possibility this might be thrown back in my face, but ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing, okay? You can't tell me nothing, baby, that I already been through. And I'm sharing it just for you, okay? I'm sharing it just so somebody else can hear this, okay? Maybe younger, older, whatever, can hear this and be like, yo, if they can do it, I know I can do it. Not even on some like rah-rah. If Lyric, whoever she is, can do it, I know I can. I know I can. Okay? It's possible, you guys. And I just want you guys to know that you are loved. Okay? Regardless, if you guys want to contact me, you got my social. DM me. DM the sister. I got you. But also know that you are loved most of all. Okay? Even when you don't love yourself, I love the pieces of you that you hate, that are grotesque and boil with bumps. Okay? That are gruesome to you. I love it. Okay? I hope you guys have a great weekend. All right. I don't know if we're going to come back with episode 5. Hopefully we do. Okay. Make sure you share this. All right. Make sure you rate it. I want to know what you guys think about the podcast. Don't just listen and be like, all right, that was good, and not rate it. I need some stars. I need some likes or some dislikes, okay? Because some people be like, I don't know. But I need to know how you feel out there, baby. Let me love you, love me, okay? And I want to thank you guys for listening once again. This has been What's on Your Mind podcast, episode 4. If you guys haven't already, click on that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, I want you guys to follow my socials at Lyriclee_indigo. And I'm so thankful for you guys. I appreciate you guys' support. And with that being said, God bless. Selah.